Hello and welcome to my channel. In today's episode, we are going to discuss who it is that you truly are. You, the I, outside everything else, okay? Outside your vessel, outside your soul, outside your spirit. Yes, we are going to take it that far. Because when it is that you get to that point that you can understand who it is that you truly are, everything falls into place, okay? You no longer spend time like fighting, being pulled into polarities, being pulled into separation, being pulled either left or right or wrong, or being pulled into feminine, masculine, what is better. Like, there's no time for that when you understand that there's something a lot more powerful with you in this experience, and that something is you. And it flips the table where you're no longer asking, but you are seeking, right? Because who are you asking who are you asking from? Who are you asking to give you anything other than yourself? So when you understand that aspect of yourself that has been here this whole entire time, that cannot be distorted, that cannot be broken, that cannot die, not truly, only reborn, only transformed, even then, there is the one that is behind all those transformation, that has already gone through any transformation that could ever possibly happen. And we can call it the highest self, the overall collective consciousness. We could call it source. You could call it God. You could call it the observer consciousness. For today's episode, we are going to go with the term observer, right? Because when you can understand the term observer in this situation, you can start to see this self. It's not even a self, but this awareness throughout your whole life. And when you can connect the dots between that presence that has been here since you can remember, that is when you can truly connect to the truth. Okay, so we're gonna go with the term observer. And so when we talk about the I, and it's not a coincidence because I'm saying I, capital I, but we can also talk about the I. What is this obsession with the I? Okay, this can be traced anywhere in history, in all ancient cultures. The I, what is the obsession with I? I is you. I is the observer, the one that exists outside the narrative, the one that exists outside the story. And when you are connected to that subconscious, I'm going to say conscious observer, we can look at it this way. We have your subconscious mind and your conscious mind, right? And you guys, I'm going to give you a lot of visuals so you can truly understand, because this isn't something that words alone can even express. So whatever it is that I'm saying, I'm trying to paint a picture for you to experience within your own being, so you can truly understand that aspect of yourself, because it is almost incomprehensible, like inconceivable, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to paint a picture so you can reconnect to that which exists within you, outside you, simultaneously at the same time. So I'm going to talk about paradoxes. I'm going to talk about things that both exist and don't, right? So you just have to understand that this awareness exists outside any separation. So it is always both, okay? So when you can understand the I, from the beginning of your experience, there's been a presence, okay? There's been an awareness within you. And reality, so understand that this presence within you, when you are awake during the day, when the sun is shining, right? Because the nature of the sun is to project light. So this reality that we experience, and the you within you is experiencing this projection reality around you, while you are within yourself experiencing it all around you. Whereas at night, it is inverted. This same energy, the moon, the nature of the moon is to take this energy within itself. And so at night, this very reality that you're experiencing is taking place within you. This inner verse that's taking place, so like reality as it exists right now, that same reality is taking place within you. And when it's happening within you, this awareness is now observing. It's the darkness around, rather than existing within your vessel, within your soul. It is now all around, looking at itself, with the experience happening within itself instead of all around itself. It's two perspectives, both are equally real. Okay, because we talk about the real world, but is the real world the innerverse? Because the innerverse is projecting the outerverse, but the outerverse is still the innerverse. Do you know what I mean? It's one. So it's two different perspectives, okay? And so let's go back to, let's go back to the observer during the day, and then we'll talk about it at night, okay? So the awareness that exists behind everything else. I mentioned within your soul, within your body. If you could see your vessel, your body, as a container of energy, okay? And usually we would say, okay, the vessel holds the spirit and the soul, okay? Understand that the vessel, this physical body, is one aspect that allows you to experience this reality, just like your soul is another aspect that allows you to experience this reality. So we can say that this vessel holds another vessel that's non-physical that allows awareness to experience itself, because awareness isn't just experienced physically, right? So it's two vessels, but they're different. One's physical, one is not. But reality would not be experienced without one or the other, right? And of course, we still experience reality without the physical vessel, because reality is not a condition of the physical vessel, right? There's another body that allows you to experience reality. It's just different. And we could look at this spirit as the union of these two vessels, right? We could say, well, the spirit includes both the human you and the soul you, right? The one that's in the physical and that's outside the experience. And I don't want to get too stuck on words here, right? Because they're just containers to try and understand the experiences that we are having, okay? We could look at it that way. But there is an awareness, the one that does not hold, that does not need a body of any kind, soul or matter, right? And it exists outside those things. And of course, it uses those vessels, right, physical and non-physical, to experience itself, reality. And that awareness that exists outside those vessels, it is everything that there is, because it's awareness itself. It's the observer, always watching. Always watching. That is you. They exist outside judgment, right? They exist outside separation. There is no good, there is no bad. It's experience. It's reality. It is an aspect of self. Okay, so when you can connect to the observer, this is why meditation is so important, because the first time that I experienced being aware of the observer was while I was meditating. And you guys, meditation is not, you sitting in silence and just waiting for the noise to disappear. It is actually just dedicating time for you to be with yourself in awareness. I am sitting here. It's okay that there's a narrator. It's okay that your mind's thinking, okay, we're sitting here. What are we doing? And it's you attempting to bring your presence in the present moment right now, your attention, your awareness in your body, wherever it is that you are. I was outside, sitting outside. And then suddenly, as I closed my eyes, I became aware of the I observing me sitting here, attempting to meditate. And it's okay if you're attempting. And it was a feeling, it's an experience that I cannot really explain, because it's almost like witnessing yourself in as a third dimensional person, like outside yourself, okay? And the second time, there's been many times after that, when I experienced that again, it was in my dreams. And in your dream, because you're not really tied down to your physical body, it's a lot easier for yourself to explain to yourself, to show yourself and to understand what awareness is, because you don't need a vessel to explain it. And so I've spoken to my own mind. And whenever you recollect memories, for some of us, we are able to see them and see ourselves in it, like as a third person. So this is how I've been able to connect to that observer. Whenever I connect to a memory of the past, I am the one watching myself. And I'll give you a little insight on one of the dreams that I've had. But I was doing the work on seeing myself fully outside the programming, outside who I've been told that I was. I just wanted to finally see myself, because a lot of the times, you guys, when we see ourselves through flaws. We see ourselves through what it is that we wish we were instead of what we actually are. So you're never truly seeing yourself. So my mission at the time was to see myself outside the distortion, outside the noise of who it is that I should be, or what it means to be a functional human being, what it means to be me, what it means to like be all the conditions, right? I was trying to see myself outside that. And so as that was my work that I was doing on myself intentionally, as I brought all my focus and attention towards this task, when you go to sleep, so remember I said reality is inverted. It goes within you and you're having this very same experience, right? And this is why you can find a lot of answers in your dream, because you're not experiencing the limitation of existing in the physical realm. So you can see things a lot more clearly. And so in my dream, there I am standing there with that same intention, right? I remember, okay, I am looking for something. I am looking to see myself. But how does one see themselves? And you guys, I don't know if you're going to believe this, but tell me why. So in my dream, there I am seeking to get to see myself fully. And this energy, this essence literally comes out of me, like in the center, out of me. And I remember it was like a crossover between like butterflies and flowers made of light, like pure sunlight. It was the color of the sun, right? And they were just, it looked like, the only way I could explain it is say your spirit or your soul or your aura, right? So it comes out of me. And it's just like many of them just like flickering around, not around me, but like right in front of me. And it comes out of me and it just looks at me. And I'm looking at myself. Right. And I'm not even done with that yet, because it gets even more trippy. So there I am. And I was just like, I get it. And guys, this cannot even be made up, because of course it's my birthstone color as well. Right. Because I had previously asked a question as well. Like, I wonder what color my aura is. And that's my birthstone. Topaz, that's the color. That was the color of whatever it is that came out, right? And I just remember being like, I finally see. Like, it just made sense, and I couldn't put it into words, but my question was answered by myself, right? And then I wake up, and as I am recollecting the dream of what I just remembered, I'm not recollecting it from that experience where I am looking at myself. This time I am outside looking at myself. So I can see the physical body and the projection of the aura coming out of it, looking at itself. And I'm somewhere outside, right? And I'm trying to tell you, that is the observer. The observer is watching yourself have this experience. So yourself, the self that you carry with you, is not who you truly are. It is almost like a vessel that allows you to have this experience. That's why you say myself, like you own it, like my body, my soul. You can't be your soul. You say who does it belong to? My spirit, who does it belong to? So we are talking today about the one and the only. And that is what connects everything in the universe, because that one exists outside everything. That is the one that exists outside me and you. It is the same one. That is why we are one. That is the same one that exists within and outside. And I say within and outside because remember, I was talking about the two different experiences that you have during the day as the sun projects light, and the experience and reality that we are having right now, and your eye takes in this experience. It is around you. But at night, the moon takes in this experience within itself. So it happens within the eye. It's still the same experience, but you just get to see it from different perspectives, right? So this is the I that exists within and outside nature, the ocean, the animals, you, me, every single thing and person in the universe. The I connects us all. And that's what I said at the beginning. You can call it God. You can call it source. You can call it the universe, but there's universes. You know what I mean? You can call it Mother Gaia. You can call it whatever you want. It can't be put in a box, which is why I've chosen the term observer today, because it is the observer of all things. Because all things are taking place within it. So when we talk about the beginning and we talk about the all, the one being everything, now it's starting to make sense. And when at the beginning of this journey here on YouTube, when I was talking about consciousness, and that's the term that I used, you can also change the term to observer. Don't get too stuck on words. Words are an invention, okay? We make up these things like words to try and understand reality. So don't get too stuck on words. Try to understand the essence behind it all. You know what I mean? And if a word seems to be triggering resistance within you, then choose another word. Choose a better suiting word. We try or choose multiple words, because this allness, make up a word if you must. This allness cannot be put in any box, because it is everything and nothing exists within this one. Do you know what I mean? So when we talk about who are you, and when you can start to understand that you are the one that exists outside everything, then suddenly you understand, okay, we have the physical, we can say that's the masculine, but within the masculine is the feminine, so it is both. And because it appears to be something tangible, logical, that we can feel and experience, we can tend to think it is the only thing that exists. It is the most powerful thing that exists. But then we understand that without the soul and the spirit, the energy to give a life, it is nothing. But then most people, especially now, get stuck on that second part. Well, soul and spirit, the feminine energy, must be the only powerful thing that there is, because it gives birth, it gives life and animates the physical. It gives birth to the masculine. So there must be nothing greater than that. But then when you understand the I, the observer, call it source, call it God, when you have a relationship with that, when you can understand that there's something other, these two energies fall into place as one. The yin and the yang, the darkness and the light. Suddenly the polarities are just, it's a wave, and it's just one thing. And you understand that you exist outside any separation. That is when you start to experience true power like never before. Like I just told you about a dream that I had. You guys, these kind of things that I experience, both awake and asleep, that is only the tip of the iceberg. When you start to understand that you exist outside that separation, reality itself will break apart. And it will reveal its true nature. You don't exist in that reality anymore. None of it is real, not in the way that you thought. And so you guys, when we talk about, I'm telling you now, the universe that we live in is magical. And you can experience realities, realms, dimensions that you couldn't even possibly comprehend right now, but you have to be open. You have to stop feeding your energy, your essence off the separation. A lot of people love arguing about the polarities. They want to put themselves in boxes. I'm over here, you're over there, I'm better than you. And meanwhile, you'll never experience true power, because true power comes from rising above the separation. And when you can connect to that, and you guys, a lot of people as well, because of yourself, the self that exists, that you carry with you, because I'm not going to use the term broken, because you're not broken, okay, but reality and the world that we live in today has attempted to break you down. And so a lot of people don't think that they have enough worth within themselves to be able to put themselves standing side by side to such great powers. I cannot speak of, let's say, God, of source, of whatever, as if I am one of it or equal. You know what I mean? Like, you can't even comprehend, you can't even put yourself in that same sentence because of low self-worth, because you've been told by the world that you are nothing, and you believed it because everybody else around you was believing it. So a lot of people struggle with this perception, this idea, this view, because they don't think that they are good enough to even dare to think. But by you being here, like, your very existence itself, because let me tell you, when you start to understand this truly, you start to see your reality in this way, right? Because I want to talk about time, but I'm not sure if I should leave that for another video. But when it comes to experiencing everything that you want to experience, when you are able to connect to the observer, when you look at reality, you don't see it as an opponent, as an obstacle, as an enemy, as something that is against you. You don't see it in the separation, good, bad. You see it for what it is: experience, reality. I don't wish to experience this, therefore, next, how do I get through this to get to the next one? You don't see it as having power above any other experience, which means that whatever experience that you are looking to have is just as equal to this experience right in front of you. And it's just, if you don't want to be here, if you don't want to have this experience, you go through the experience because it is experienced. You have to go through the experience, you have to experience it to experience something else. Like, that's the nature of reality, right? And it actually makes sense when you think about it. So you go through the experience by experiencing it to get to another experience. But you understand that whatever's in front of you right now, however your reality looks like right now, it doesn't have any power. It is just reality. It's just experience. And the ideas, the visions, the dreams, the desires that you have in your head, those are equal experiences. And you don't have to ask. You don't have to beg. There is nothing to beg. There's nothing to ask. You're asking yourself to give yourself permission to experience another aspect of reality. Like, I'm trying to let you know that the universe, or whatever reality is, it doesn't judge. Everything is equal. Everything is the same, because it doesn't experience the separation and the polarities the way we do in this world. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So when you can step outside the separation, sorry, my arm's going dead. So when you can step outside the separation, you are able to experience whatever it is that you desire, because that power that exists within all of us, that connects all of us, it is so powerful that when it is felt, you immediately understand your place in this universe. The center, the sun, the moon, whichever you most identify yourself with energetically, doesn't matter, because it's a mirror. The two are the same. As I said before, one projects reality externally all around you, the other is within you, but it's two sides of the same coin, right? So when you understand that there is not separation, you guys, that is when you can truly experience reality, because you're connected to the only power that exists. You guys, in my videos on TikTok the other day, I was talking about how you are so powerful that anything that you deem to be a challenge or impossible, you have to remember that you are the one that, without you to even speak the words impossible or abundance or success, without you to speak these things and experience them, they wouldn't exist. You are literally the source of creation. And again, because of the self, yourself that you carry with you, because you identify with that and you think that's the only thing that exists, even though every single day you are saying myself. Who does it belong to? Who does yourself belong to? But because you've identified yourself with yourself, and I know that sounds you know what I mean, but because you think that's all there is to you, you're disconnected from your power. Because the world will teach you that yourself is limited and powerless, and that the world's just unfair, and you just have to accept things as they are. Some people just get to do what they want. Some people just get to win. Some people get to be happy, have all the experiences that they want to have, but you just have to settle. And who said you specifically? Did they say your name, by the way? Did they say whoever you are, you specifically, you cannot have these experiences? You don't get to experience reality? You don't get to be in your power? You don't get to have everything that you wanted? Who said that? Who said it to you? And why are you listening? We just presume. So if you see that yourself is keeping you stuck, stagnant, not moving, if you're not happy with yourself, that is absolutely normal. That self can always change, because guess what? It is not in charge. It's an image. It's called a self-image that places us somewhere in the world where we think we are stuck. That self-image is a concept. It isn't real. But it can be, because you keep identifying with it, because that is how powerful you are. But in reality, the self that you carry with you is simply a vessel, a channel of what? Source, the only power that exists. And so for you to even question it is to question God. For you to even question it is to question everything that has ever existed. So what are you saying? That there's a problem with the creation? There's a problem with how you were created? For this concept, we're going to say he. You can say she. You can say they. None of it fits. As I said, vocabulary, words, we just use them to understand reality, okay? But are you going to say he made a mistake creating you? God makes no mistakes, my friend. So stop questioning the Creator, the Most High, and start understanding the miracle of his creations. Do you understand? Because that is what you are. And so, because within his creations, like, just think about it for a minute. If God was to create anything, why do you think it would be limited in any way whatsoever? If God is everything that there is and is that powerful, technically anything he touches, creates, is infinite power, because he is that powerful. So technically, why would you be limited in any way whatsoever? If we're just gonna, we're using that vocabulary so you can truly understand, so we can speak to your programming, because it needs it. Why would you be limited? That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. So if you are ready to live up to your true potential and do whatever it is that you want, just wake up, okay? Just wake up and start to realize that you are the true power. And there was never any limitation to begin with. Limitation is an invention that those that really understand half of how this all works use against you. It's a tool to keep you down. But you know what? It doesn't even matter. It's just a game. Some people like to step on other people so they can feel powerful. You don't need to do that. And you don't need to keep being stepped on over and over again either. You don't have to allow that. You can wake up, realize your power. The minute that you do, the minute you even entertain the idea of what it is that I'm telling you, you will start to see it all around you. Trust me. You'll close your eyes and you'll see it. Okay? So you don't have to try that hard. Just open your mind, open your heart to the possibilities. And life is about to get sweet, okay? Life is about to get better than you could have ever possibly comprehended in this little brain, okay? And I'm not saying it's little, but again, yourself is not this, yourself is not that. So I'm gonna leave it here, you guys. In the next episode, I might talk about time, when you understand that, because obviously it's an illusion, right? But for you to finally understand how it's not linear and it's happening cyclical, if I can speak, and how you can use that to your advantage to step into any timeline that you would like. Okay, so I'm gonna make a note of that, and if you guys do want me to make a video on that, make sure you let me know. And if you're wondering what my TikTok channel is, since I started growing that channel first, it is the same name, Temperance Aura, same picture for now. And I think perhaps I don't have the underscore in between Temperance and Aura. I'm not 100% sure. I'll double check, but it's the same name and you'll see my content there. It's the same as my shorts except longer. But I'll see you guys soon, okay? Just make sure you meditate or you just sit with yourself with this knowledge, okay? And come back to it again. Come back to it when you're in a better space, right? Of clarity, where you could just listen to this on repeat until it clicks. You guys, this is what I did to open up my mind. Whenever I would hear and listen to somebody that has experienced what I want to experience, I would listen to that on repeat until it clicked, until I could see the programming and the belief systems that were stopping me from listening, and it would click, and then suddenly I would start to see it around me. Okay, so you guys, as always, best of luck. You are an expansion of reality, okay, not a limitation. You can do whatever it is that you desire, and the universe supports you because it supports itself. I love you guys, and I'm gonna leave it here. Okay, take care.